On the closers conversations, closing Olympics, everything you need to know about closing to help you close more deals. Real closers, real conversations to really help you close more deals. It's your guy Elijah I. That grateful that you guys are taking time to be here. I want to give everybody just a couple moments, to come on in here. They have some candy conversation with closers. Man, I feel super blessed and super grateful, to be able to do things like this. I remember starting out back in the day, I literally thought, the only people you see close are people in your state, in your circle, and to see there's a whole community of closers all around the world. There's VAs closing, there's people all parts of the country closing, and we all have something in common. We all have the ability to turn words into wires, conversations into cashier's checks, change the trajectory of our families, work on our own terms, live life the way we want to because we all have something in common. We all can close. All right. So grateful for you guys taking the time. Real quickly, want to make sure I mentioned a couple of things for everybody here. Make sure you guys feel good about this. Go ahead, log on and share this for me. Do me a favor. Share this. Let people know we're going live here. We're going live. Make sure you share this. Make sure everybody knows that, hey, we're going to be doing these. What's up, Robin? What's up, y'all? How you guys doing? How you guys living? How you feeling? Appreciate you guys taking the time here. So we're going to make this happen. So we're going to bring on up. So let's bring on up Mr. Steven here. When he's ready, we're going to get Keith up here in a moment here. What's going on?
What's up, Elijah? How you doing, man?
Man, listen, the clean cut assassin himself. We're getting Keith situated over here. Keith has he has solar energy panels for his phone charger. No, we get him situated. Yeah, so no.
There he is.
The solar panels kick back in.
I'm good.
What's up, Keith?
What's going on, fellas?
Okay, so before we get started, before you get this party started here, I want to kind of go over a couple things for everybody. Remember, Closer Olympics. Like I said, we're going to our 30-year Closer Olympics. These are the only competition of itself, the virtual competition that teaches and highlights the best closers in the game, in the country. These are the best closers, and we want to make sure we're highlighting not just closing, but the art of closing. And we wanted to bring somebody on who is absolutely killing it when it comes to the closing world. Before we introduce our phenomenal guests here, wanted to just give you guys a little bit of reminders. All right, that for those who have any questions who did not see the first 2 years of the Closer Olympics, all you have to do is go to closersolympics.com. You're able to get the replay, get that joint. You get over 50 hours of the top closers, not talking about closing, but showing the real closing skill sets. And for those of you who ask really good questions to myself, to Steven, to Keith, we are going to give one special gift away for whoever is the top closer. Whoever's the top closer, you're going to get a special gift. All right, is our way, not top two, person with the top question for one of the closers, you're going to get a special gift. Anybody who actually gets the replay while we're going to our interview and you screenshot and tag Keith or Steven and myself, we give you an additional special bonus for you guys who just, showing extra love. We want to show love back to you. Before I share anything else, Keith, you want to talk to the people before we introduce our family guests?
This whole Closer Olympics thing, it's been mind-blowing. It's been life-changing, not even just for us, but the whole real estate community, just to bring guys like Steven and, just like Elijah, all of us together. I don't know if it's any other events or anything can bring like this many people together where you can see people actually, closing deals under the pressure. You under that pressure, you got the shot clock on, and it's a little bit of different dynamic, man. So I'm just looking forward to the one that's coming up. And Steven, you a veteran now, man. You definitely a vet in the game, man. So I'm just glad that you're on here right now.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so without further ado, let's just talk real quick. Let's give my guy some flowers, all right? He's no regular person. I've seen this man come up from where he's getting no shine, no love. People weren't really giving his proper flowers. I'm not talking about 1 or 2 deals. I'm talking about hundreds of deals, millions of dollars. He's helped made your favorite gurus millions of dollars. He's humble. He's smart. He honors the craft. He embodies what it takes to be a real closer. He's a great father. He's a great partner. He's a loyal. He's really big with not only honoring the craft, but taking his craft really serious. Without further ado, the clean-cut assassin himself, Steven Morales. How you doing, King? Let's go.
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. It's a good day today.
Yes. Perfect. Well, thank you, Steven. Real quickly, Steven, for those who may not know you, just real quickly, would you just give me a quick background glimpse on where you're starting from, but how you develop a little bit of your closer skill set?
Sure. So, man, I started off door knocking. I was applying for a position that I thought it was an account executive. They tricked me into a door knocking position. I said, what do I have got to lose? I tried it out. I'm the type of person that closes, or at least I used to close doors, and now I'm open. But yeah, I started off door-to-door sales, and that's what really introduced me to sales. I'm like, man, like I'm pretty good at this, connecting with people, building rapport, psychology, all that stuff. And then I worked in a cold calling company for stock information, like a Wolf of Wall Street kind of gig. It was legal though, but I learned a lot of cold calling from there. And then I was doing real estate acquisitions for a couple firms. And then I did my own thing. And then, like almost 14 years of sales experience. I also did MLM. I did a lot of stuff, but, I've been doing sales for such a long time. And those that have a customer service background actually, they transition a lot better into this game. And if you have sales experience, it's even better. But I've made hundreds and hundreds of mistakes, and that's why I'm at where I'm at. And to this day, I mean, I don't think I'm perfect. I don't think I know everything. I'm always looking to learn from others, regardless of what level they're at. I can always learn something from somebody else, improve my craft, sharpen up my skills. And I love making live calls. I just got off the deal desk before I got on with you guys. People see the good, the bad, the ugly on the live calls. People learn while they earn. And yeah, I'm actually here in Tampa in the New Wealth Collab here, and we're going to be launching something that's probably never been done before next month. Really excited, but I'm looking to build a killer acquisitions team, and we're actually going to offer that to real estate investors nationwide. So I do have a cold calling company too. We do offer real estate acquisitions that's overseas. I'm bringing all that to the United States. They're going to be local. They're going to be Americans. I actually, maybe I might show you guys later. We're going to have a boiler room in here, and it's going great. So, I'm good at sales. Do I enjoy sales, waking up in the morning, getting yelled at? No, but I've been doing it long enough where I use it as a vehicle to get where I want to be and do what I enjoy. And it's giving me financial freedom. Mm-hmm. And in real estate, guys, if you guys have sales experience in real estate, like you're probably in the best industry, in my opinion, one of the best industries to really create some serious wealth. But sure. The Closers Olympics was an amazing experience with other closers that you guys get to see. I mean, it's not just about one person. It's all different kinds of styles. Take bits and pieces from everybody. I like what Keith did. I like what Elijah did. Let me put that in my scenario, my script, my structure. You learn a lot.
Nah, that's what I'm talking about. Good stuff. Now, thank you for at least sharing a little bit of the world you came from so they can see why we're so excited to have somebody with your skill set, with your background, with your verse experience sharing here. So let's talk a little bit. I mean, we talked a little bit about the accomplishments. Let's talk a little bit about, do you want to say something first, Keith, before I moved on?
Yeah. He talked about the accomplishments, man. But, tell us a little bit more about when you was on that sales flow. What kind of accomplishments you got? What kind of records and stuff you got?
See, the thing about me is when I first started, I really, really took seriously like, hey, I may not be the most talented right now, but I'll outwork anybody on the sales floor. I'll come in earliest. I'll stay the latest. I'll make those extra calls. And I'm not afraid of rejection. You cannot be afraid of rejection. In any sales position, acquisition position, you have to embrace rejection. The more no's you get, the closer you are to a yes. You hear that all the time. But, like when I went in there were already people in there. Like when it really took me to the next level was the cold calling floor, because that's actually a much harder sale to, convince somebody for stock information and live transfer to the closer and all that stuff. But that was a different kind of sale, dealing with like real estate and oil and solar and all that stuff. But what I noticed is that there were people there longer than me. They were the wolf on top of the hill. I was the wolf climbing the hill. They weren't as hungry as me. So when they, when I came in, I was a new guy. They didn't really take me seriously. Oh, this guy's new, and I'm open. I'm always open. I want to learn from people that have been doing it for longer than me, because it doesn't mean if somebody is been doing it longer for you, it does not mean that they're better than you. It means that they're farther down the road than you.
Yes.
Okay. That means I could jump on a motorcycle or go right by them. Right. So I really embraced rejection. I worked hard. And then when I started hitting the weekly goals, right? So like an average, good closing day, maybe 1 sale, 2 sales, right? Mm-hmm. Every, the first week I got 1 sale, 2 sale. Okay. I got some momentum. The second week I was averaging 3 to 4 to 5 sales a day. And they're like, whoa, hold on a second. What's going on over here? So then people start listening to me and seeing what I did. And I wasn't afraid. Like some people will be hesitating. And I'm talking about newer people, but it's just like embracing rejection, outworking people. As time goes on, guys, the more you work on your craft, the better you're going to get. You guys probably hear that so much, but let me tell you something. The only way you get good at this stuff is if you work on it. And what I mean by that is that requires sacrifices. And that also requires, sometimes you have to, I wouldn't say, friends, bad friends, you leave them, but sometimes you got to change your habits. Sometimes I was around the wrong people and it limited my growth. So I had to make sacrifices, going out and all this stuff. I'm like, let me read books. Let me watch education. Let me listen to calls. Let me really, really dig in. After I went home, I would watch courses, read books, all that stuff. And I actually applied everything. There's so much great information. I say this all the time. There's so much great information out there, some bad and some good. You know what I mean? But you have to stick to something for a while and actually try before you. It's like when you enter a new market. You're in there for a week. Oh, I'm not getting deals. It doesn't work. Try a whole quarter in there. See what happens. So I immersed myself in it to a point where I was a lot more confident in my ability. And as I just did repetition, it just came I don't know. It's just I subconsciously do and say things. I don't even think about it. It's just so systematized, so organized. Like Keith was saying, every conversation sounds different, but my structure and flow remains the same. And I've been applying that since door to door, since over the phone sales. And, once you start excelling above other people that have been doing it for a long time, they start paying attention. And you know what? I don't think that I'm better than them. I'm just farther down the road. I passed them, but now I want to bounce off ideas with them because they know something that I don't, and I know something that they don't. And that's where collaboration comes in. Helping each other elevate, go to the next level, and just working hard, man. Working really hard.
I think you said a couple good things there, man. And I hope you guys, please don't take this lightly. Don't be just brushing your teeth while he's dropping gems. Make sure you guys have your closer's journal out there. Jot down some of these things that you're sharing, because I think a couple important things you said there that really hits home. If I'm starting out, if I'm struggling at sales, or if I'm, have some inconsistency, just hearing what Steven shared with you guys. Do you understand that although each call is different, right? Each team LeBron plays against is different. How he prepares is the same. How he structures his mindset is the same. How he shoots and release is the same. So if you see how serious he takes his craft, regardless of how different the scenario is, the seller is, the state it might be in, the consistent format and how structured it is, it allows him to get consistent results. So I really liked how you shared that.
Yep. Every time you get no, you get closer to the yes. So that's a gem.
Yes. And make sure you guys ask your question. Whoever has the best question, whoever has the best question, we're going to give you a little special bonus at the end here. So make sure you stick till the end with us and we're going to lock in. So Steven, let's talk about your deal desk. Your deal desk, I think, is absolutely a phenomenal resource. not even entertaining. I'm talking about straight resource for all closers. It's like a must watch for all closers. You have multiple seasons. I want to talk about what do you feel like was the difference from last season versus this season? What do you feel like was like some of the highlights, and what do you feel like the main difference?
Well, last season I had guests, and the reason you see, like, a lot of people in the industry think they're better than everybody else, and like that shouldn't bother you. But the thing is, I'm always a collaboration over competition kind of guy, because we can get more done together. We can showcase more. We can learn. It's like when you're masterminding. So the person that thinks they know everything is usually the person that limits their growth. They puts a cap on their growth. So I'm like, man, like there's other amazing closers out there that people can learn from. There's stuff that I've learned from, and like I want to showcase that with my audience, because usually people have different personalities, different flow, and I think everybody can always learn from people. So different styles. So season 2, I brought up, some of the most respected people in the industry, people that I know are the real deal. I know that they can provide some kind of value. I'm talking about man and woman. And, a lot of people love the guests, and they took bits and pieces, and there's been deals JV, and I just love doing all that stuff. And I was doing that for a while. I just finished episode 94. That's crazy. I'm almost I've been doing this for, I think, 2 years now, man. That's crazy. But, I came up with the idea because I started seeing a lot of videos where people did live calls, but it was pre-recorded, which there's nothing wrong with that, right? I learn more from my mistakes. I don't know about you guys, but like when it's like when you get a mentor to avoid all the mistakes he made. Yes, right. You learn from the wins. You got to keep doing what you're winning, right? But like I've learned a lot from my mistakes. And when I said, you know what? Why don't I try doing this live? I want people to see me get yelled at, overcome objections, and how I do that stuff, because it's no filter. You see the good, the bad, and the ugly. And it's just, like you said, it's a resource. It's a great resource. I know people that have no sales experience or real estate experience. They go on there, they learn stuff. Man, I always come across that objection. I like how he overcame that. I like how we analyze that property, and I try to give tips and tricks to people, whether they're starting out, whether you're new or experienced. You could definitely learn some things on there, but I have more things planned for the future. I always like mixing things up, making stuff creative in there. So stay tuned for that. But, collaboration and showing raw talent, whether it's myself or other people that I respect in the industry. And that's what it's all about.
Let me ask you this, Steven. I know that you got the talent, you got the processes down packed, but that's just from my point of view. I'm pretty sure Elijah thinks the same thing. I mean, what would you say that separates Steven from other closers in the industry? What separates you? What's your superpowers?
Great question.
Well, number one, I'm myself throughout the whole conversation. And when I say that, that's only the first thing. I'll get into other, but the first thing is I'm myself. If somebody talks to me and I have data in front of me and they're trying to tell me, oh, my house is worth $400,000, there's nothing selling for more than $300,000, I'm not going to be like, oh, no, you're right. Like I say, well, I understand your point of view. However, this is the fact. So I always back up my debate with facts, and I remain myself. And that's how I am in real life too. I'm very upfront, transparent. I think the biggest thing for me, guys, that I don't really see too many people do is like for the past 7-8 years, I've literally had the same structure. Like you said, every conversation sounds different, but I get every single bit of piece of information that I need to set up the contract.
Yep.
And it works. It works. It's proven. I've been doing it for a long time, and I stick to that structure. Every conversation, they might talk about this or they may talk about that. I redirect them back to the exact question I need answered. I get the answer. I also, I don't come across like I'm not a pushy sales kind of person. I give people options. I let them pick. I control the options. I come up with a way to get numbers out of people without saying, how much do you want?
Nice.
I set it up in a way where they may tell me a number, they don't even realize it, or I get a reaction. I give a range. I don't give offers. I give offer ranges. They like it. They don't like it. What happens next? I always know what happens next. And I feel like I have a crystal ball. I know what they're going to say before they say it. You know, it's funny because one of the coaching groups I was in, one of the biggest things real quick that I told him, hey, don't send out a contract unless he's in front of a computer. And they accidentally did that. Right before we got on the call, I said, void the contract right now. Since they're using DocuSign, you could put the reason, seller not ready to sell. Yeah. They literally called him back within 2 minutes. Like, dang. But I've just seen this stuff so much where there's not many new reactions or things people can say to me that I don't already know how to respond to. And that comes with so much repetition. You know, it's like I saw online, I forgot who said this. You'll learn more from 10,000 calls than any sales book.
You know? That's facts.
Repetition, experience, mistakes. You know, you're going to get to a point where you're going to become dangerous. You're going to know exactly what to say, how to say without even thinking about it. You know, it's all memory. But I think that's one of the things. I'm just myself all the time. I have fun with it. I don't want to be a boring guy, you know, like I'm just always throw my own personality in there. I like making things fun. I'm more of a visual learner. I learn more when I have fun doing stuff. And, you know, do I enjoy talking to people on the phone? No. Do I love big deals? Of course, right? If you can learn, acquisitions is probably the hardest, if it is the hardest part of this game. Getting properties at a deep discount is a skill set that's required to get big checks. You know, and if you guys can learn stuff from people like Keith, like Elijah, like myself, you're going to get better at it. And that's going to pay you back more than Netflix will or anything else. But, you know, I just have fun with them and just repetition, make mistakes. And that's what it's all about.
Yeah, I think, and thank you for sharing that. I think something else that you didn't really mention, I think that really separates you from people. I think you have a certain level of certainty you speak with. The certainty and your pace really like drives home your confidence. This is not your first rodeo. You don't ever come off needy. You don't have that commission breath on you. You know what I'm saying? You really do a good job at that. And I learned how to slow down and pace myself after watching you a little bit. Like, oh, okay. And I've seen how you do that and how you navigate with that certainty, because he or she who's most certain wins. You know, and so I think that's really big for it. So with that being said, I got the next question for you. So with the way the market's adjusting, you know, we see a lot of adjustment. How have you had to adjust some of your closing skills now that the market's adjusted? I know some people ask about that. A lot of people are kind of acquiring. It's not, hey, you know, I just sell it to a hedge fund and I can pay over retail. Those days are over now. That's not here anymore.
It's over with.
Yeah, people that only, I mean, I'm not saying hedge funds are bad, but if you only relied on hedge funds, they're probably not even on this Facebook Live.
Right. They're probably back at work right now.
Yeah. So, you know, you can make money in any real estate market. But in order to do that, you have to pivot, reflecting what's going on in the market. You got to be more open. Something that I'm doing differently in today's market is I used to be cash offer or listing, cash offer or listing, cash offer or listing. I'm starting to be a little bit more aggressive with creative financing now. Okay. And the thing that I really enjoy is when sellers, you know, of course, sellers know, oh, the market's hot, it's on fire, blah, blah, blah. I was literally on Deal Desk, and I'm noticing in my market and other markets, you can go on Zillow. You see this estimate, that little graphic goes whoop, whoop, it goes up and down. Yeah. And if you click the little table chart view, it'll show what months the prices were peaking at. There's a correction already happening. And guys, you can't be afraid. You have to be around people that know what they're doing, be around experienced people that have been through one before. You know, like I still look up to people that have been doing this for a lot longer than I have. They've already weathered the storms, if not worse. They've survived. They made a bunch of money. There's ways to make money. You just have to pivot. So you got to have multiple exit strategies other than just a hedge fund and a cash offer, right? Cash offer, hedge fund, creative financing, novations. There's a lot of stuff you guys can capitalize on. make sure you rub shoulders with people in your city or your market that have been through the storm. They're experienced people, right? Because I'm telling you, this correction, guys, is an opportunity. That's what it is. And it's going to be a small window of opportunity. If you play your cards right, you're going to come out big. You're going to hit the jackpot. So make sure you change up your strategy.
You got to stay in the room. You got to definitely get in the room, stay in the room. And man, I got a crazy question to ask you.
Hold on. Before you go to that, because I know what you're about to go to. I know what you're
going to ask me.
I seen you crush. I want you to ask it. But before you do that, guys, if he's giving you guys some game, if you guys get some value, please share this and put one in the comments. Let us know that you are feeling what Steven is dropping. He's not telling this some fluff that he heard somebody else share. He's speaking from real life experience. He is a multi-million-dollar producer himself. He's helped other people close six-figure deals within the first couple of months. So he's giving you real life game. Please don't take this as just another regular conversation. Put one in the comments if you feel my guy. Please share this. Do me a favor. Share this right now. Let the people you know who needs this information, who wants to win, who wants to improve their skill set, please share this. Sorry, Keith, back to you, sir.
So the last 30 days, right? The last 30 days for myself personally, I've done over 100K in just price drops, right? And we always talk about negotiating, right? But I want you to talk a little bit more in today's market, because that's what we were just speaking on. What about the renegotiating part in today's market? And how do you handle your price drops?
Renegotiation, this is stuff that's going to happen a lot, guys. The biggest thing, and like anytime you have to convince somebody as to where you're at, why you have to change, it's not as strong of a point if you don't bring facts. Like if I say, hey, Bob, we were at 150. I really got to be at 100. Bob's not going to be so quick to be like, oh, yeah, that's fine. He's going to make it difficult. So that being said, when you're renegotiating with people, one of the most powerful things you can have is facts. And that's with an S, not just one. And I'll give you an example. If I have house under contract for 150, I'm trying to sell for, 170, let's say. And I send one buyer out there and his offer comes back at 100. Cash buyers will lowball people just like we lowball sellers. Like, you got to have more than one option. Hey, Bob, why are you so low? Oh, the foundation or whatever, blah, blah, blah. I want to send multiple cash buyers out there. If they all come back at 100, I know there's something going on. And, what I love about wholesaling is that you have that inspection period. You have time to renegotiate, do what you got to do. But I want to make sure that I bring more than one thing to the table. Hey, Bob, I sent a few partners out there. Man, we found the foundation, the electric and plumbing. There's a leak in the master bath. Like, I'm bringing all these things to Bob, and it's not just one, because then again, it's not powerful. I just say, hey, he found foundation issues, so we got a price drop. If I'm bringing more than one, he's going to be like, oh. And sometimes you'll talk to people that are out of state that haven't seen the property. And if you have pictures, videos to provide it, and opinions, and after inspection, it's going to make your case more valid. So anytime you need to renegotiate, and this is in real estate, but also life, bring facts to the table, okay? That way the person's going to be a lot more receptive to change their price. If you just say, I got to be at this price, he's not going to take you seriously, rather than I come with this, and this, and this is why I got to be here. Hey, that makes sense. And you also want to let them know, after you bring the facts and present them, you do not just want to leave it like that. You want to say, that being said, Bob, regardless of all these issues that we found, I still want to make this work for you. I'm still looking forward to close on this property. But in order for me to close on this property, in order for me to help you, I need you to help me. Does that make sense, Bob? Why would Bob say no? You want to be upfront, transparent, bring facts, let him know you're still committed to him. People will get a little shaky if you bring all this. They think you're going to back out. We're not trying to back out. If we get low offers, it doesn't mean I'm canceling the contract. I'm just going to try to renegotiate first. Stuff happens, just like with flips. Things are going to pop up that are unseen, but this is the purpose of the inspection. Sometimes there's title issues, tenants issues. It does not mean it's a dead deal. Things could be fixed if presented properly.
I'm going to add something to that real quick, to all the great points that you just made. You know, another thing is to add on to it, you know, I want to speak from when you're dealing with the cash buyers too. Like I found it that you're more successful doing the price drop when you do still get the offers from your buyers before you just go back to your seller. Because you just don't want to go back to the seller not knowing where your buyers need to be at. Not only where they at as far as price, how quick can they close? So that way, once you go back to the seller, you can add value to them and tell them, hey, listen, I got a closing date for this date right here. It's wide open. You know what I mean? You also want to be able to tell them, you know, how quick can you move? You know, you don't want to go back to the seller and you at 80,000, your buyer, you go back and do a price drop, you at 70,000 now, you done dropped to 10,000 and the buyer say, I need to be at 70,000. Now you done messed it up with the seller because you didn't price dropped it down where your buyer need to be at. So that's why you want to at least, like Steven said, get the facts from the buyers, and then you want to go back and you want to try to complete their price reduction.
Excellent point. And you know, as crazy as it may sound, guys, some people care more about time than price. You don't have to be the highest price to win the seller. I've won a lot of deals where I was not the highest price, but I closed the fastest. They were more confident with me. So always find out, what does this person need? Is it price? Is it terms? Is it speed? When you do have to renegotiate, if the person wants to close fastest, they may not need they may not need the highest price. If they have confidence you'll close faster, whatever the seller's needs are, you got to bring that solution to the problem. That results in bigger deals, better experiences for your clients.
Yeah, you said a couple things, and listen, I'll talk sales, closing like literally all day. I love this stuff, right? I'm literally a fan of the game, of the sport. Couple things. Well, first, shout out to Agent Salgado. All right, the born closer. He's one of the
Salgado. He's one of the
closer.
dangerous ones over there in Arizona.
Yeah, I want to show him some love real quick. So a couple things you said that's really important too. Well, first, I think we're all in agreement. I think you hit on the head, Keith. There is quality of life is always more important than dollar amount. All right. So my quality of life, if I need to travel, if I need to get out of here, if there's something more important, that is more important. Solving my problem is always more important than what the final dollar, if I feel like you can solve my problem. So I think that's really key that you said too. You both mentioned. I like the facts over feelings. Your facts counteracts their feelings. So if you're able to give facts, hey, these are what's happening. This is the market condition. These are facts. These are comps. These are facts. These are what the reports say, or the repairs are needed. These are facts. I know you felt that way, but these are the facts. And I think that's super important to be able to kind of establish. And I like what I'm going to add this to my closers gumbo from yours. What you said, Steven, you said, well, I'm still committed to helping you. All I need you to help me help you. Does that make sense? You didn't even say the number. You just got them to mentally commit. Yes, I'm going to give a discount because I want you, because you're so committed to me. Now I just need you to help me help you. Does that make sense? And I mean, these are some powerful gems. I will be applying that not next week, not next month, but today when I follow up with some of my sellers today. So that's powerful. That's powerful. Ooh, okay, good stuff. So I know we want to do some Q&As. We want to get some of the Q&As there. So any questions you guys have, please put it in the comments. We're going to go back and ask some of these questions. If you guys are getting some gems, if you give me some fire, put some fire emojis in the comments. Throw some fire emojis for Keith, for Steven, for your boy, your guy Elijah I. Throw some fire emojis at us real quick, just to know that you guys are getting some value. We're gonna go back and answer some of your questions. So if Queen Jenny, if you could queue up some of those questions for us, and we'll go ahead.
I got a question for you guys. So when's this 2023 Closers Olympics? What, anything different, same? What are we looking at?
So we got something coming in. We're looking at the second quarter. We're looking at the second quarter of next year. So we want to make sure we give them ample time to make sure we highlight a lot of the closers in the game. We do got something special. We got to keep under wraps at the moment, but we do got something special.
It's like Christmas, huh?
Exactly. It's like Christmas. You got to wait for it. You got to wait for it. But it's definitely coming, though. No, I appreciate you asking, and we want you lady sellers out here, ladies closers. We want to see you. We want to see you. And you did a phenomenal job against Steven by highlighting female closers on your deal desk. And, so we're actually looking at some of those ladies who crushed it on your deal desk to come out to the game.
Yeah, so, I'm looking forward to to the new talent, people that I don't even know yet. You know what I mean? The people who got talent. I'm looking forward to that, and of course the ladies as well, because to me, ladies are the best closers. So it's gonna be massive, man. This time gonna be a little bit more different, as the years go on. we got newer people that's coming in that's making noise. So we definitely want to highlight some of that new talent for sure.
So we got a question here from Robin. If I go to a property to meet with an owner, I always take my comp info with from PropStream with me. I also take pictures while I'm there. So I guess she's asking, should she be doing that or should she not? I think that's the question.
She does that.
Mhm.
Again, this comes to like facts. If whatever you guys could bring to an appointment that justifies your case even more, do it. Robin, I don't know if that's a question or statement, but yes and yes.
Yeah, take the comps. But one thing I'll mention to that, make sure before you start taking pictures and you start showing comps, connect with the people. This is a people business. I'm complimenting about the pictures, about the rug,
Yeah.
about the cars. Connect with them, find something to compliment it. People need food, water, and compliments. Let them get their own food. You got water, give it to them, but give them sincere compliments. People like to remind themselves that they make good decisions. Remind them part of that. Okay, so that'd be good. Keisha,
So market correction, what lists/leads are you contacting? What about you, Steven? What list is interesting to you right now?
Man, I always diversify the list. Something that it's like, I think regardless of the market, I still don't think there's such thing as a golden list. It also depends on the market, the timing. I always hit absentee out of state, pre-foreclosure, tax delinquent. Something that I've actually been doing with the market correction is a lot more PPC as well.
Yeah.
With all the stuff that's going on, the people that are going to you, that's always hot, right? But right now, if you have good closing skills, good follow-up skills, you might want to look at more inbound marketing as well. Cold calling will always be there. It's a longer sales cycle, regardless of how good they are, how good it is. But there's nothing like inbound leads. PPC leads is something that I'm transitioning a lot more into, along with creative finance structures.
Yeah, I seen not too long ago that the Google searches was up, for sell my home, like 100%. So right there, where we, to validate the point that you're making. So
what list are you hitting, Keith? Or are you recommending?
The number we hit multiple lists. We like to have a mix of broad lists mixed with the niche list. But I do feel like right now we in a very, very niche type of time. You know what I mean? The more motivational type of list, the number one list is working for us is a code violation. Because you got to think about it like this. If I give a homeowner a call, the city is already, putting different type of citations on the doors or on the properties. That's letting me know that you don't have the money to fix it up right now. That's how I'm going to take it. Either that or someone may have passed away and now I got to dig through and figure out who the family members are. So we just closed the deal, $65K this week. Another one for 20, another one for 15, and it's been off the same list.
Nice.
So I advise anybody, get on them code violations.
Yeah. No, I think in addition to that, what I recommend doing is obviously, I'm a fan of the fire damage. I'm going to find it, but there's no list out there, right? So what happens is, answer Jenny. So what ends up happening is this, right? Is I like to go after senior list, 70 70 years, 70 years old or higher, who will have low FICO scores, high equity. Low FICO scores, high equity senior list. I've been getting some good results with them. Now, once again, these aren't going to be your one call close, knock them out, but these are going to be the one you build relationships with. I had a guy come back to me 4 years ago. 4 years ago, I talked with this lady 4 years ago, senior. She decided to finally sell the property. They're going to come back to this. It's kind of like mailers. If you think about like mailers, you send them mailers. Yeah, sure, you get some inbound calls. But it's those ones that come back to you 2, 4, 6, 8 months later. These senior lists, low FICO, high equity. It's just a matter of something happening to them. And if you build a good relationship with them, they'll follow up with you too. So I think that's a really good good opportunity for that too. So that's a good question.
Nice.
So I know there's another question we had out there. They asked you, Jenny will put it up here in a second, but Born Close is asking about what are some of the names. What are some of the names? So you want to release a couple of names we're looking at?
What do you guys think?
I know. I mean, we're trying to get Adrian to dust off his jersey over there. We're trying to get Adrian to dust off his jersey over there, but we'll leave
Adrian's name. That's what we've been hearing. We've been hearing Adrian's name.
Hearing Adrian's name, like what happened to the original King closer, the first year King closer? So obviously RJ says he's coming back. We're actually, we like some of these new guys. Some of these new guys up here. I know you had a couple ladies up there on closers. Yeah. I know Sonia. She's a closer that's really been crushing it for some of the ladies. It's really she's been saying she's ready to knock some heads off.
Colleen been lady by the name of Colleen been hitting me real tight. Seamus, Eric Klein. I want to see all those guys in it, man. Anybody who got that's one great thing about the Closer Olympics. We don't discriminate. We don't. If you got that, we want you in this. We ain't shying away from nobody. We want everybody to come who got the skill set.
Dude, that's a good question. Want to answer that one for Stephen?
When collaborating with realtors, what do you typically offer them off the deal? So it depends what kind of appointment it is. So I collaborate with agents in 3 ways. The first way is a lot of the leads we have. If somebody's in the office that's licensed, I send them over the listing, and that's negotiable per agent. But you do want to make sure. I would recommend at least 10 to 20% of that because you're providing the marketing. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to listing, at least that, make sure you guys structure that legally so you can get paid properly. The second way is, since I'm doing this virtually, whether I'm in an office or at home, this is all virtual deals. But there will be times where you will have to set up an appointment. Our agents go on the appointments. If the agent goes on the appointment and they need to negotiate the contract, we give them 2 options. First option is, do you want a flat fee? If so, what that looks like, and that could be a few $100. Or if you lock up the deal, do you want 10% of the assignment fee? I let them choose because, not 100% of the deals close, right? Title issues, tenants, whatever. Stuff happens. You're never going to close 100% of your deals. So the agent can choose, I think I can maybe help sell this deal, and maybe I'm pretty confident it'll close, or do I just want to take up a little money up front from my time, right? But if they do decide to negotiate and take the cut for the assignment, we give them 10%, and that's a pretty hefty spread. It's really healthy for them, but that allows them to produce more volume. Like, they'll be our agent when we need to go on appointments. The other scenario is investment deal ready. If somebody agreed to price terms, maybe a little bit older, they're not as tech savvy, they can't sign over the computer. We do like an agent representing us simply because they come across more professional, and with analytical people that are a little bit older, they're going to pay attention to those things as well. So we give them either, a flat fee for that, or they get 3% of the assignment fee. On top of that, we pay agents to run properties like photos, videos. When we have to show properties to buyers, or the ones babysitting the whole thing, we can pay, a few $100s for that as well. So I actually think that, investors that are against working with agents are leaving so much money on the table. It's so good to work with investor-friendly agents because it creates new opportunity for both of you, and it creates a better team. So learn to work with investor-friendly agents. Not all real estate agents will love investors. Okay, it is what it is. But definitely take care of your agents, and your agents will take care of you.
You only need a handful of them. You don't need to have 2 million of them. You just need a handful of quality agents. So don't let the negative ones who say, "Well, you're investing without a license," or we might just might be hating. Don't let that initial rejection stop you from getting 5 or 6 quality relationships, right, Keith?
Yeah. Sometimes most of the time they don't understand. You know what I mean? If I was an agent nowadays, I would definitely be partnering up with investors. It's another stream that you can start for yourself. You could be bringing in cash buyers, to wholesalers, and you could be making a fee. That's a whole different, stream of revenue. So they just don't understand. That's all.
Nice. Okay, we got another one from Robin here. So this goes to all of you. What do you find is the biggest hurdle that keeps most from reaching their full potential at being successful in this business? Let's start with you, Stephen, then Keith, and I'll follow it up.
that's a hard question because, like if you think you've reached your 100% potential in this business, I feel like you're capping yourself out. I feel like I'm always grateful but never satisfied. I feel like there's always room for improvement.
Yeah.
I feel like success is a journey, not a destination. You know what I mean? So, like, for me to think, man, I've reached my highest potential, I can't elevate anymore, I feel like I'm limiting myself to that. And I feel the more hungry I am, the more I want to learn, the more grateful I am, but not satisfied, I'm only going to get better and better and better. So I would feel the only hurdle was if I did not have that mindset,
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, Keith.
Yeah, I got two things real quick. I think the first thing is I feel like that all results come through, being and staying disciplined. You know what I mean? I think that, along my journey, if I would have latched on to more being disciplined over trying to stay motivated, I feel like that I would have got more results because I would have been more, consistent in my approach. And the second thing is just stand in the room. Stand in the room because, Stephen is learning every day. Elijah is learning every day. I'm learning every day. And once we meet up and we, meet in these powerful masterminds or whatever we meet at, we all sharing our experiences that's working and not working. So just think how powerful it is if you're in a room with hundreds of people and everybody is giving their best and want to let people know that. So stand in the room and shoot for being consistent over being motivated all the time.
That's fire. And, ET says that he says discipline kicks in when motivation runs out. So that's a nice little gem. Discipline kicks
motivation
in.
comes and goes. Discipline's what keeps you going.
Like discipline kicks in when motivation runs out, because when you might not be motivated some days, and when that happens, you gotta just ask yourself, do I want to? Am I gonna because I don't feel like it, stop me from taking action, or I'm gonna take the action and wait for the feeling to come? So my answer to this, I think it's about really important to be willing to take more no's than everyone else around you. Be willing to take more no's. I think if you just go into not avoiding the no's or embracing no, actually I tally down the no's. So I'm looking for about 35 to 50 no's a day, because if I know I'm capturing no's, that means I had to make an offer for them to say no to me. Right. So if I'm looking for the no's, I reframe the value of that no to me. Now I'm looking to get the no versus avoiding no. I'm embracing the no, and eventually I'm going to get to my yes. Right. So that's one thing I do. And then another thing I do, I think that what stops people from that biggest hurdle is they go from each call to call with the same closer's baggage with you. When I call closer's baggage, that's going to be somebody just hung up on you, somebody just talking crazy to you, or you're talking crazy to yourself. And what's happening, you're having a lot of negative self-talk, like, man, you're right. Nobody's going to take this low offer. Nobody in this market, nobody's going to take this subject to deal. They're crazy. So you're telling yourself no before the client's telling you no. And you have that negative self-talk. So what I like to tell people to do, I have my closer's journal. And in my closer's journal, what I like to do, I like to be able to, right here, I'll go ahead and write down that negative thought, that negative self-talk. I'll write down any objection that stopped me. And so when I'm at masterminds, when I'm around great closers like Steven and Keith, I'm asking them, how do you overcome this objection? What rebuttal you use? And I write it down, not on loose newspapers and sticky notes. I write it down in my closer's journal. So I'm able to go back, get that negative energy, that closer's baggage out of me. And so when I'm on the next call, I'm going fresh, clean, with new material to overcome that objection.
Ooh, that's dope.
I gotta add to that real quick. Like,
please.
Everything you guys just said, this is like super important for anybody that's like beginner or intermediate. You have to take this stuff very seriously. Like, these guys here are high level and they're still looking for ways to get better. And as we should all, but like when you're first starting out, you really got to want this. And this business is simple, but it's not easy. It requires hard work and sacrifice. So make sure you guys, take it seriously what Keith and Elijah just shared.
You kind of start answering, the next question, the mindset, or what's your mindset when it comes to closing? You know what I mean? I'll kick it off real quick. My mindset when it comes to closing is nobody is beating me. Like, I don't believe in losing at all. Like, if I'm in a battle with other investors, I honestly, in my heart of hearts, I don't believe that I'm gonna lose at all. So you got to think about it. It's kind of like Steven. He like boxing. You know, if I get inside of a boxing ring and I'm already thinking I'm about to get defeated,
You
and
already lost.
I'm probably not going to win. You know, 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to win. And I think that a lot of people out there are going into these calls and they got that self-doubt. It kind of goes back to what Elijah was just saying. You got to make sure that your mental is right. And I honestly learned this from Elijah. Affirmations.
Yep.
You and Elijah, I'm gonna let you kick that one off because I don't want to take the credit for that.
Sure, no worries. We'll have you finish it off. So yeah, just like you said, mindset. I'm really big on doing pre-call affirmations. You know, just like Jordan, you know, LeBron, Kobe, before they played in game, they have a little tradition to cue themselves up. Like I'm about to go. I'm about to turn into Mamba. I'm no longer Kobe. I'm entering a court. And so a good thing that I like to do for myself, I definitely, if you challenge yourself with this, I think it's going to start paying great dividends to you. Because especially if you're starting out, you're like, I don't have the money. I haven't closed the deals. Don't have this experience. So you start viewing yourself as a small little person who's going to get dominated by this mean seller, right? So you do those pre-call affirmation to tell yourself how great you are, who you are, that you have a divine right to do what you're about to do. And then I like to throw on some Hove. You know, what Jay said, put me anywhere on God's green earth. Watch me triple my worth. Because no matter what, you are what you are, player. You could change, but that's just a top layer. You are who you was when you got here. So remind yourself that no one designed yourself. You get to design yourself. So when I'm getting on the phone, I'm not thinking I'm just I'm sitting here making phone calls. I view myself, open up the G5, suited down, Rolex up. They're just waiting for you to open up the Rolls Royce car, waiting for you. Sir, here's a red carpet. Excuse me, I got to buy 2 houses. I got to go. I don't have time right now. If you view yourself as you that player, you that lady, nobody can stop you. When you just view yourself as that, your confidence level goes up, your mindset goes up, and your skill sets will increase as your mindset allows you to believe you're that person. So that's what I do. What about you, Steven?
He just made me visualize. I just start visualizing my own self.
That's right.
When it comes to mindset, I mean, you got to remind yourself, why are you in this business? Why are you doing it? Some people it's financial freedom. Some people it's building wealth, you know, whether that's building a portfolio, raising money, like whatever it is. There's a reason you're doing this, and you can never forget about from where you came from. Some people think they're, you know, better than everybody. You got to remind yourself, like, where you came from, how you got into this. Be grateful. Thank God for putting you in the position that you're in to be even vulnerable to this opportunity. Take it seriously. And, you know, other thing that comes to mindset is very important is like when you're talking to sellers, you can't look at them as money signs. How much money am I going to make from this? How much money? These are people that want to sell. They want to sell because there's a problem. We're basically people that create solutions. If you focus and you're solution oriented, the money will follow. Trust me. I don't focus on, man, how quickly can I close? How much money can I make? That's all gonna come. But if I don't focus on the person's problem, like it's gonna fall apart. So focus on bringing solutions to problem. Be a problem solver. Remind yourself why you got into this. Keep that same motivation. Keep that same drive, and you'll be successful.
That's nice.
Good stuff. Good questions, y'all. Good questions, y'all. I really like it.
Let's ask you some questions, Elijah. Let's ask Steven some questions.
Yeah, we're gonna hit you with some rapid fire. We're gonna hit you with some rapid fire questions. All right. So all right. So I'm gonna kick it off. So just a couple minutes. Boom. We're gonna ask you a couple of them. All right. So out of everybody, doesn't just be real estate. Who is one of your top favorite closers outside of yourself, obviously, but who's one of your favorite top closers in any genre, any industry? Who's one of your top closers, favorite closers?
About currently, past.
It's up to you. It's up to you.
Gosh, man, that's so hard. You got this. There's no way that can be rapid fire. There's so many great closers. I mean, Zig is a great one. Man, Jordan Belfort. I mean, I could go on, and it's not just real estate. I mean, I'm talking about
right
deals. Like, you know, there's so many good ones out there, but sometimes I learn from other people that did stuff in different, like Jordan Belfort, like his book, The Way of the Wolf.
Sure.
You could take a lot of tactics from there. I mean, Chris Voss, I mean, hostage
Yeah.
negotiator.
That's
You know,
good.
that's a different kind of. That's probably one of the hardest things to close, right? Is a
Mhm.
hostage situation. So I respect that, obviously, but like learn things how he said, what he said, you know, what he said, how he said it, implement that in your business. That's just a few. I
Yeah,
mean, I could
let
be
me
on here
let
all
me
day.
throw a sleeper to you. Let me throw a sleeper, and then you get the next key. You get the next one, Keith. I think one of the best closers of all time, David Chappelle.
Mm,
The ability to tell a story and close a whole audience. I think the ability to tell stories, that's what we're really doing. We're weaving stories, weaving conversation,
Oh yeah.
shifting emotions. I think he's a great closer that most people may not throw him in the closer category, but when we really look what he does, great closer for sure. All right, what's the next one you got
So
for us?
let me ask you this: you mentioned the guy Jordan Belfort, right? Way of the Wolf. What would you say is your favorite sales book? So I'm pretty sure somebody probably going to end up picking it up today. What's Steven's favorite sales book?
Man, I mean, how to win friends, influence people. You can't go wrong with. If we're talking sales, you know, I don't know if you'd even put that in. It's like when I look at sales, I look at influence.
Yes.
Like influence, like what are people that have an like you said, Dave Chappelle, like that he can close. It's not real like real estate,
Right.
but it's in a different way.
Influence
But
the
when I look
audience.
at sales books, I look at there's so many greats out there, but like who can influence who the most? I mean, Chris Voss, Bob Berg, the Art of Persuasion by Bob Berg is probably top three. Chris Voss, Bob Berg. So How to Win Friends, Influence People. There's just so many books, man. But those top three, usually there's top three authors at least, because it's not just one book. They write a lot of books, but those are like top three influencers that I've realized, like when I first started, other than Robert Kiyosaki, as far as a business book, but like as far as like techniques and strategies, those three authors produce great books that I implemented in real estate acquisitions and door to door and like all that stuff. So
Nice.
Oh,
So see, that's good. I like that. And so make sure you guys take some of these books he's giving you guys and add it to your arsenal, add it to your audiobooks. There's a reason why he's such a good closer. He's constantly consuming new information to make him the best version of himself. Now, a lot of people don't know that you're a Golden Glove. You're a Golden Glove in your younger
that was
years.
a while back. I won Golden Gloves.
I'm just
My
saying.
first fight was Golden Gloves, but I mean that was a while back, man. But I love boxing, and we just recently finished my third boxing event. So what I'm doing now, I came up with this idea in December 2020. I just threw it out on IG. Got great response. Entrepreneur Fighting Championships. You get some real estate investors, some YouTubers, some venture capitalists, some business owners. You put them in the ring, 3 rounds, 2 minutes. We make sure they're protected. They have headgear, 60-ounce gloves, all that sanctioned. But like, it's interesting. And we donate a portion of proceeds to a local charity. So we did Crisis Center Tampa Bay. We did Florida Breast Cancer Foundation. This one that we just finished October 8th was Sunrise Shelter Domestic Violence Sexual Center here in Pasco. So I like doing stuff I love while serving the community. And not to mention, those events are amazing networking opportunities. Let me tell you.
Nice.
Like, it's amazing. But I saw somebody comment Steven's the second best boxer in the industry. Who was that? I saw that somewhere. We should invite him to the next event. The next event will be February.
Let me ask you this. I gotta ask this question because I'm a boxing fan. I'm a boxing fan.
Yeah.
I'm a Gervonta Davis type guy. I'm a Tank Davis guy. Who is your favorite boxer? I never knew that. Who is your favorite boxer?
Who's your favorite boxer?
That, like, when you guys ask me for my favorites, I put things in 2 categories. I look at in the past, I look at current.
Both of them.
When I look at boxing, I like
one for the past, one current. One for the past, one current.
Man, that's so hard. I mean, the past, you can't go wrong with Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, exciting fights. Hector Macho Camacho, marvelous Marvin Hagler, Sugar Ray Robinson. There's a lot. Currently, Davis, Spence. Pacquiao is great. Cotto's great. Can't go wrong with Mayweather. I look at boxing as an art. It's more of a mental game really than a physical game. It's like you're playing chess in there, but it's really exciting. I mean, watch boxing, watch UFC, and yeah, I'm so hardcore boxing, man. I moved into this new house, and the whole second floor is this like man cave, and there's boxing memorabilia there. There's like gloves, signed gloves, signed stuff. Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson. I got this auction, and I don't know. I love stuff that stimulates my brain, chess, boxing, and keeps you in shape, but it keeps your mind sharp too, So
it kind of reminds you of closing boxing, because you got to think about it. You just don't want to get in the ring or get on the phone and start, hey, I can give you 100,000. You throwing haymakers already. But about boxing, especially like Mayweather, when he get in the ring, the first 2-3 rounds, he's filling out his opponent. It's just like when you're on the phone.
Diddy, we were supposed to go to Vegas for that Spence Crawford fight, but it got canceled.
Yeah.
The negotiations. That's one thing about boxing, man. It's like so political, and it's still great. But that's something that it's always going to be there. But yeah, it's great, man. I love it. I think we should do like a Closers Olympics mastermind in Vegas sometime. The guy,
I'm liking it. I'm liking it.
Fights or something. Have a good time.
I like the vibes. No. But let me ask you this, Stevie, because a lot of people just think that we ended up here on our own, that we just took ourselves off the streets and made it happen. And don't get me wrong, a lot of that was a lot of our own perseverance and perspiration pushing through it. But who would you say is one of your biggest mentors that definitely helped you get to where you're at now? Who would you say? I'm sure there's plenty of people out along the way, but who?
Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Yes. Let me tell you, man. The reason I'm in this business, and I know you guys know my story, but those of you watching, like when I first got into this, like I was going through a divorce. I was having a kid. I was working during the week as a bagger at a grocery store. At night, during the week, I work as a dishwasher. On the weekends, during the day at a gas station. The weekends at night as a bar back. While going through a divorce, raising a kid, that's a really dark place. And everybody has different things. But the thing is with that, like you could be a victim or victor, you could let it fuel you. And I feel like, God, it got me out of a dark place. And I felt like Jesus led me to the right path. And hey, I landed in real estate. And I'm happy that I got here, but like one of the most inspiring things to me is when people come from such a hard background, like there's no silver spoon, like you're not being spoon fed, like you come out of a hard place to where you're at now. And I know you guys have amazing stories too, but like for me, like Jesus, man, Jesus all the way, and like there's nobody above him that I look up to. And that's what really, really put me where I am today. All glory to God. So,
I mean, who knew you were going to become one of the top closers in this game? God did.
I was coming. I was trying to say
you felt it. No, that's good. So for all these people out here, especially the people, I mean, if you're killing it, you're crushing, you're doing hundreds of thousands a month, like pouring clothes over there, hey, God bless you. Want you guys to win. But those who are struggling, those people who are trying to get that first deal, trying to get that next deal, what's a gem? What's something you go park to those who who aren't winning and not knocking out checks and hasn't closed a deal in a while?
Say that again. Ask that again. I'm sorry.
Not for the people who are killing it, but the people who are challenged, people who are struggling, people who haven't closed a deal in a while. Tell me, what's one parting gem you'll give to them so that they can stay in the game long enough to get that next deal, to close that next deal, to increase the skill set? What's a parting gem you can give to those who are struggling right now?
I mean, listen, it took me 8 months to get my first deal. It took me 2 weeks when I had a mentor. Now, there's a big difference between a mentor and a coach. And I do want to tell anybody new starting this, and, I'm a very straightforward guy. Some people don't like what I say, but I feel like I need to say it in a way where it's not sugar-coated because it's the best for you. It's kind of like when you go to Shark Tank and you see Kevin O'Leary. He's the heart, but he's like the most realistic. But listen, you have to, when you're new to this, you're going to pay with either time or money.
Yeah.
No way around it. You're going to pay with time or money. I paid the price in the beginning, think I could do it all on my own. Now, if you have enough determination, you could do it on your own, but you're going to pay with time. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. If you surround yourself and you bring value, if you don't have money, bring some kind of value to a mentor, you're going to get from point A to point B way faster. The biggest thing I would recommend is find a mentor or coach. You know, they do two different complete things, obviously. And don't think this is free. Like, you know, somebody reached out to me last week and he felt bad for himself. Man, I'm trying to learn this, but nobody's trying to help a young kid out here because they're all charging money. I'm like, listen, any high-level person's not going to just take time away from their business, their family, you know, just to do this. We all started the same position you did, but what we did differently is we paid with time or money. And time, you could bring value. So I recommend if you know somebody in your city that's crushing it, you don't have money to pay for that mentorship, hey, man, I'll go on runs for you. I'll go on appointments. I'll work for you for free. I'll clean the office. I just want to get my foot in the door, you know? So the biggest piece of advice, guys, is find somebody that's crushing it, that's a good person, because there's people crushing it that you shouldn't relate yourself to. You might learn the hard way sometimes. So make sure they align with your core values. Align with your core values. Elijah and Keith are perfect examples of people that I align core values. You know what I'm saying? So align the core values, you know, make sure that you bring something to the table. If it's not money, it's time. It's got to be one or the other. There's no way around it. But that's what really catapulted me when I first started, and I was hitting so many walls. I was moving forward, but man, I was moving forward slow. Most people in 8 months would just quit, say, man, this doesn't work. I kept going. And then I went long enough where I got my first deal, and I ran into my first person that took me under their wing and showed me. And I got two deals in 2 weeks with them, and they changed everything.
Love it.
So
yeah.
Powerful. And I really appreciate you tapping and sharing just from your heart. And that's why I said I think hopefully you guys feel the sincerity that, you know, Steven's sharing with. This is why he's such a great closer. You feel the authentic vibe and energy he's giving you. He's not talking from some script or what he thinks is good for you to say. He's saying what's coming from his heart. I think that's really connecting people. So salute to you, young king. For people who want to get a hold of you, I'm sorry, go ahead, Keith. Were you gonna say something?
Oh, no, that was it, man. That was dope. That was it.
Yeah. So people who do want to get a hold of you, do want to reach out, would you share a little bit of some projects you got working on so for them to follow along with, and then how to get a hold of you?
Yeah, I mean, two of my biggest, the best way to reach out to me, guys, is really Instagram is where I'm pretty active on, you know, and a lot of the messages will go into message requests, but if I see you tell me, yo, or what's up, or hey, bro, check DM, like, you know, just say what you're going to say, you know? You can reach out to me on Instagram. Some projects I'm working on right now, I'm really proud of, I love when I have an idea and I can't sleep and I put it into play. Like December 2020, I had that boxing idea. Like, what if, man? Like, some people may think it's crazy, it's stupid until it's done. And I've done it 3 times. And now it's going to become a bigger, better brand. And it's all while giving back. It's like literally one of the very few things I would do for free because I'm giving back. I'm networking. I'm watching what I love. You know, it's cool. It's really cool to see that. But other than that, I think the biggest thing that I'm working on right now is I have the cold calling company, the Master Closers. And we're still going to be offering that. But right now, I don't know if anybody's done this before, at least that I've heard of, is offering virtual acquisitions agents here in this office. I'm talking about the boiler rooms right there. As a matter of fact,
Uh-oh. You hit the Wi-Fi button.
It was ending good. It was ending good. I want to
hit the Wi-Fi button.
Hit the real estate Diddy button.
Oh, okay. We bait up. We can't hear you. You muted.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we back.
So this is gonna fit between 8 to 20 people. This is here in the United States in Tampa, Florida. most people that offer acquisitions is overseas. Not that there's nothing wrong with that, but there's nothing like a local person in America. And I'm talking about, I'm going to be here next to these guys from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. And I'll also be here on Saturdays. My business is going to be running out of here. I'm going to be helping them close. I'm going to replicate something that they did with the previous company. We did 8 markets, 100K weeks. We're going to be offering that to real estate investors. And I can almost guarantee you that I'll put up any of these guys up against anyone in your office and they'll outclose them simply because I'm right there next to them. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to be launching this. It's going to be extremely limited. It's not something that, you know, I'm doing this because I just want to. I'm looking at this for JV opportunities. You know, this is something bigger. This part of a club we're going to offer exclusively to club members here at the CoLab in Tampa after we reach a certain amount of people. But this is really exciting. I mean, listen, since March of 2020, when I was in Puerto Rico on vacation with my family, I was going to do my office. And then that's the month I heard about COVID. I'm like, what is COVID? Everything shut down. There's a curfew. I'm like, dang, man. Like, when I go back to the States, I can't open an office. We're going through a freaking pandemic. So I've been virtually working from home / like, you know, co-work spaces for the last 3 years. And to finally be back and build something that's going to freaking crush it is just really exciting to me. I love building stuff from scratch and seeing the outcome. So, you know, and if you guys are ever in Tampa, feel free to come by. It's called the New Wealth CoLab. We're here in Seminole Heights. Come by, say hi to me. You know, it's a great community, everything under one roof, but I love building stuff. And this is the latest project that I'm mostly excited about is creating local killers here in Tampa. And they're going to learn how to close deals nationwide. So
I love it.
You may even see one of them in the future Closers Olympics. We'll
hey,
see.
that's where it's looking. That's where it's looking. I see you, you know, and for you guys to use to take advantage of that, use the Elijah coupon code. Not joking, I'm joking. No affiliate link yet. Not yet. No, but I'm super excited for what you're doing for the game, for the industry. You're taking your skill set, you're multiplying it, and you're not just keeping it for yourself. You're allowing other people to win with you, from the people who you're employing to the investors you're helping to overall market you're sharing with. So I think that's super powerful. So I know we're wrapping up here. We do want to do our giveaway. So please make sure you screenshot this. Make sure you tag Steven, tag Keith, tag myself. We're going to keep an eye out for those. Might be a special bonus for you guys. But we said whoever had the best question, we're going to give something, a little special giveaway. Robin Taylor.
I knew it.
Robin was giving that heat. Robin was hitting that heat earlier today.
So Robin questions on the deal desk too. So great job, Robin.
Pretty dope. She got a
so if you can, Robin, DM Keith and myself. DM us your email. You're gonna get the free Closer Olympics mini course with Keith, myself, Alex Signs, on the creators of Closer Olympics. We're gonna make sure we get you guys. That's a free gift to you. You know, so we want to make sure you help you close more deals. To make sure you guys lock in. We want to make sure that people are, again, not only highlighting the art of closing, but we're learning from each other. We're sharing from each other. Closing is one of those things that you don't have to wait 4 or 5 months to see it work. You can go apply it that day. And so the more you use it, the more improvements you make to it, the more benefits you get from it. So before we wrap up, do you have any other final words for the people, Steven? Any final words for the people?
No, just thanks for having me on, guys. It's awesome to be part of a great community and be involved in collaborations like this. And I think it's a great way to serve the industry. And guys, if you're watching this replay, look into Elijah and Keith's content. It's proven content. It's great content, including myself. But like, this is such a cool thing where we all come together and showcase and share ideas, and it's everybody wins. So thanks for having me on here.
Absolutely. Keith, any final words, Keith?
Before we go, will Steven be back in the Closer?
Will Keith be back or Elijah be back?
That's a good question.
Man, I might pull a Brady. I don't know. But then again, Brady came back. He got divorced. So I don't know.
You are in Tampa. All right. Well, we're gonna see. We're gonna see. We'll definitely be circling around
We
with you.
shall
You know,
see. We shall see.
one way or another, we definitely want you involved. You are, when it comes to closers in this game, you do it the right way. You do it with integrity. You do it at a high level, and you make us all proud to be known as closers with you. So I appreciate you. Any other final words, Keith, before we wrap up?
Hey, man, that's it, man. That's it, man. We definitely appreciate not only the gems, but we appreciate the time, Steven. And like I said, man, you never know, man. I'm gonna call you Stephen Brady till you back. You know,
Stephen
Yeah.
Brady.
Stephen
Jay's
Brady.
back. So once again, these are the closest conversations. We're going to be bringing you more interviews, more live closers, everything about closing that you need to know to help you close more deals in your market, regardless of what market we're in. Thank you again, Stephen, for locking in. King Keith, appreciate you. Make sure you guys check out everything what Stephen Morales is doing, the clean cut assassin himself. And we're going to get him back on for the next Closers Olympics. We're going to get him for you. It's your guy, Elijah I. Each one teach one, each one reach one. Go with today. Be a blessing to someone, y'all. Salute. Be blessed, y'all.
Bless.